Hey y'all, what's up? Big Wooly here, and welcome back to episode 3 of our All the Mods 10 to the Sky Let's Play. So, in today's episode, I got all kinds of big plans, but we're gonna start off with revenge on this gate pearl. I made myself some safety rails because I can't be trusted to not fall in the void. So, without further ado, let's kill some mobs. Alrighty, here we go. With safety rails installed, hopefully I can defeat all these waves of mobs. And those sheep are really annoying. Shh, you're too loud. Oh, it's a baby. No, go away, baby. I don't like babies. By the way, these mobs all have like extra health and stuff, in case y'all missed that on like the Pearl description. They have higher health, they hit harder, and they get more difficult as the waves go by. So, yeah. I mean, that's not, saying that I'm not a noob and didn't fall in the void last time, but these spiders, for instance, they move faster, they hit harder, and they, are not fun. But having these safety rails makes it better. All right, collect our loot. Here we go. All right. Sorry, I'm not talking. I'm focusing. I'm about to fail again. I didn't get dead quick enough. No! All right, so we need a better sword. At least I didn't die this time. And we're out of cobble. So, I won't make you guys watch that fight anymore. But, yeah, we're going to need to hit harder. Maybe a sword for some sweeping damage. Maybe that's the, like that would help. I don't really know. I would like some farm animals so that I can get a backpack and all sorts of things like that going. But that is not going to be the focus of today, I don't think. We will get into it if we need things that we aren't getting. But, there you go. So, have respect for your pearl, or don't be as much of a scaredy cat as me and get the mobs dead quicker. Something needs to happen there. I probably ought to let these mobs or these nights go by so that I can get some phantoms too, but because I think I need phantoms for some flight that I want to get into. Well, let's see what we got. We got some cactus, some bamboo, some sugar cane. Yeah, we got a little bit of stuff from that. All right, I've upgraded some chests. I've made some stack upgrades and stuff in between episodes. All of that is stuff we have covered in previous series. If you have any questions about any of that, hit me up in the comments, and maybe I can tag you with a previous vid that shows what you might have questions about that I didn't do on camera. So, other things we need to complete out our quest line. We need to do some witch water so we can make soul sand. So we did sift up some mycelium spores in one of the previous episodes. And then all we need for that are some of our barrels, which are already outside, and some dirt. So if I find... Well, actually, we can kind of be cheesy. So if we were to, dig this dirt, and then dig this dirt, and then dig this dirt, and then I was to, drop right here, I can pick up those three. One of them fell through to a spot that, we're not going to talk about. That doesn't exist. You don't see that yet. But if we put this dirt back under here, and then before the grass spreads, we give it some mycelium, we should, yeah, see that progress bar? That's going to change this into witch water for us, and then we're going to need some sand, which I think we're going to need to hammer down some gravel and coal and all into sand. So it'll be real nice. Oh, we don't want this. We want the compressed stuff. It'll be real nice to get some of this stuff automated so we can have these resources. We got to get to power first for that, really. I mean, technically we could get there with the armor stands and stuff, but I would really like to do it the power way, so hopefully we will get there before too long. But now that we have the stick, placing all this down doesn't really take that awful long, and we're set to vein mine. Oh, no, don't fall. Don't fall. I can't get over there. Okay. All right. All right, can we land in the water? Where's the water? Oh, no, not the bridge. Yes. Haha. I am not sure. Oh, I do know what happened. I had vein mine on small tunnel instead of shapeless. So now, there we go. Just don't, get overzealous and vein mine a hole into the void and then wonder why you fell in the void. Yeah, we're going to need to patch that hole before I do that again. And we did kind of void off the one cobble and a little bit of gravel that we had there. So, yeah. Oh, it's broken. Need to repair it. Let me get some sand going. As you can see, there's our witch water that has converted. If we put some dirt in there, which I should have some dirt. One of these. Yeah, there we go. So I'm starting the basement down here. We're going to get storage and stuff hidden down here. This is just under the house. Just started clearing it out to get ready for that. Wanted to show you guys that, when I meant to and not on accident because I was digging a hole. So let's repair up our hammer and let's repair up our pick. Is this whole broken thing a new vanilla mechanic, or is that something from one of the mods? Because, I mean, I know vanilla has gotten all kinds of updates, and I just don't play a lot of vanilla. But, that's kind of spiffy if I don't need to make them into, tools anymore. So, let's get some sand, and I'll meet you back here at these barrels so we can make our soul sand. All right, hammers down some sand, and all we do is just right-click the sand on the witch water, and now we have soul sand. So one thing we forgot to do was to pick up the witch water so we could get the quest credit. So let's grab out a bucket wherever that got put. There's a porcelain one. Swear I have a regular bucket somewhere too. I have lost my bucket somehow, but that's okay. The porcelain one will work. We're just picking up water. So, put some water in here. Wait on these to convert, and this time we need to remember to pick it up. But another thing I would like to do is let's fill in some dirt right here. And if the mycelium spreads to this, we should, in theory, get mushrooms to start growing on it. Both of the varieties of mushrooms, both white and brown mushrooms. So that would be really nice to start having now. We can accelerate it by putting down another one and spreading and hopefully keeping the grass from taking over, but we'll see. There we go. What? Okay. There we go. Porcelain witch water bucket. Gives us both brown and red mushrooms and explains that any mycelium blocks near witch water will begin growing mushrooms. So, like these mycelium blocks that are spreading back here, since there's witch water in that barrel, it will start growing mushrooms on the ground near it. And yeah, that's kind of something we would really like to have as a resource. It's a way you could automate it early on if you needed to. Look, I had stuff right here in this barrel for today's episode, and I forgot that I put it there. It was like a don't get distracted barrel that I got distracted from. So, yes, that marks the end of these quest lines over here. Let's claim these up. Let's see. Soul sand can be sieved to get more nether items. Oh yeah, you might be disappointed by the nether. Okay. I'm guessing that means it's a void, would be my guess. So now, we have a couple other materials we can make now that we have full access to lava that are going to need to be made in a stone barrel. We can make endstone by combining glowstone with lava, and we can make obsidian. Actually, it's a pretty slick way to make obsidian. You can just put a water source above it, pipe in the lava, and it will continually make obsidian in a stone barrel. Now, do we not have a stone barrel? Looks like we don't. So let's grab out some of that, and then I think we need slabajabs, and then if we do that, yep, stone barrel. So if we take a stone barrel, and we need a bucket. I don't know where our bucket went. We're just going to make a new one. It's probably, you guys are shouting it in the comments right now because it's been on the screen and I've been missing it, but let's grab us out of lava, and then we're going to grab out soul sand, and we're going to pick up some water. Wait, how do I... Okay. We're going to grab out some glowstone. I said soul sand. Wow. We're going to grab out some glowstone and a bucket of water. Okay, so for the first one, just right-click it with glowstone, and we get our endstone. Then if we put lava in here, and we were to place a water source on top, let's grab some trapdoors if we have any. Do we have any trapdoors? Really, any block will work. I mean, heck, we could even, those are gravity blocks though, even in their compressed form. Hay bales, they'll work. Or soil would have worked, either one. We just need something to contain the water, but if we were to do something like this, and then hop up here, if we put water in here, that turns into obsidian, which we can right-click to get out. And then the cool part is, if we leave the water above it, it immediately turns to obsidian. You can actually pipe in and pipe out and have it just constantly make obsidian for you at any rate, you know. So I think the hint here is we ought to see what the Nether looks like. It's probably a void world, which is why we're going to be disappointed in it. And that's fine. But let's get enough for another portal, and then I will be right back with you. Alrighty, y'all. I got majorly distracted, but we have all of the obsidian we need to make another portal. It seems like there may be nothing in this Nether, but let's go see what it looks like anyways. So there we have it, a full Nether portal, spared no expense for you guys, and even put the corners in. You know, that's just the kind of guy I am. Let's make ourselves up a flint and steel and see what's on the other side. Whoa. So not only does it look like there's not even, I mean, is that lava or is that void? Sort of looks like void. So yeah, I mean, we could definitely bring blocks here and probably make some farms in the right biomes and stuff. I don't know if they've got like mob spawning turned off, but we're gonna need to look elsewhere for things like netherrack and stuff. So yeah, let's head back to the overworld. Netherrack. We can't get netherrack in the Nether. It's kind of empty. Instead, we'll need to make some, combine witch water with lava in a barrel to make netherrack. Ah, okay, so kind of like how we were just making obsidian, we can make netherrack with witch water and lava. We're gonna need a way to make lava faster. As a matter of fact, I can't break it because I don't have a diamond pick yet. All right, well, now we're really screwed. There's extra stuff there. I could put a bucket of water in it, right? I think that'll interrupt the portal, but it's really loud. So we're gonna need to set up like an automated witch water setup and then have a couple of these stone barrels. We're gonna need to set up some automations for some block creation, at least until we can get to mystical agriculture or bees or whatever that it is that we are going to need. But first things first, I don't know if I showed it in the clip that made it in the last episode or not, but I made the create clipboard. We've already marked off Witchwater, barrel making with endstone. We tried the gateway pearl. We're going to mark that off. I think we can get what we need without having to defeat that thing right now, but I definitely do want to defeat it. So let's go ahead and clear out these checked ones. Next on the list for me is going to be the Xycraft extractors. I want to get into those because I want to start with Ars Nouveau and get us into an early game storage solution because I'm tired of having to like pull things out of chests to craft and stuff. And, you know, that one's one we haven't done since FTB Sky's Expert, which was, what, a year and a half ago or more at this point? No, more. Yeah, almost 2 years ago now. So yeah, we need moss because we need the saplings for archwood. So we need to get our archwood saplings, which we can get from sieving moss. Oh, and I also have upgraded the meshes in between clips while sieving for resources and stuff all the way up to diamond. But we can get these. Oh my gosh, wait. We can just buy them? Well, do I buy them and go straight to the storage like turn, or do I set up the Xycraft extractor? Well, now I got a dilemma. Let's get the extractor set up because I've never built one of these and it looks like fun. So we're going to need some aluminum, a piston, pointed dripstone, an item port, which is a chest, and some gold nuggets. Let me see what we got. And then the Xycraft extractor, we can make a total of 4 of them. Woo! All right, I've never set these up, so bear with me. Let's collapse some quests so we can see the Xycraft quest line. There we go. Gives us more kiwi and more item thingamajigs. Okay, the extractor. Let's go look at moss, because moss is the one that I need to get set up because we need to sift for our saplings, which we can apparently buy from the market and don't have to sieve for them. But if we go here, it looks like it wants a bone block underneath, stone underneath that, and then 4 moss all the way around, and it's going to make a moss block every 2 seconds. So let's get that together and see what happens. Moss. We got enough moss. We do. Do we have bones of any kind? We got bone meal, so I should be able to make bone blocks, right? So there's our bone block. Then we just need a piece of stone. Okay. And then let's get a drawer. I think we had some. There we go. All right, and then we're going to just head over here. I'm going to make something prettier than this cobblestone nightmare, but for now, we're going to use it to set up this extractor. And since I have a hole in the floor, we're going to put this bone block right there in that hole. Actually, that's probably not smart. Let's just put it right here. And then on top of that is stone. And then on top of that goes the extractor. Okay, and then on each side of this goes a moss block. Oh, it lit up, so we must have done something right. And then now if we go like this and like this, we can get up here, and I think all we have to do is put our drawer. There we go. And that is going to make moss for us indefinitely. Woo! Now, there's lots of other resources we can make. Several pages, actually, of resources you can make with the extractor. 24 pages, to be exact. We can generate all kinds of blocks. So we could use this for resource gen for our sieves, for all sorts of stuff. I mean, we have cobble coming in from another way, but these Xycraft extractors, I wonder, can I make netherrack with one? Let's see. There's moss. It'd be easier to look at netherrack. So if we look up netherrack, there is an extractor recipe. So gravel, lava, and the extractor makes netherrack. Let's go ahead and set one of those up too. So we need a gravel block, 2 buckets of lava, which we're going to need a couple buckets for. Okay. Two buckets of lava. Some gravel, which I guess we could just compress this down. Hammer one. And there is some gravel. So gravel, 2 buckets of lava, the extractor, and a drawer. Okay, and then we need something to contain the lava. So we got some stone bricks. That'll make it not so hideous. Although all this will get moved. But this is just to get us some resource gen going right now for stuff we currently need. So if we were to put you there, there, and there, with a gravel in the middle, and then do another there and there, and then I guess we can go kiwi because, you know, we ran out of stone bricks. And then the Xycraft extractor. And then our drawer. Bam. Heck yeah, that's working out. So probably a couple more things we'll make out of our Xycraft extractor, but you know, if you're looking for a way to make resources, check for that on your tabs because it looks like we can generate a lot. Like blackstone gives us some pretty good resources, but we're gonna need blue ice for that. I wonder if we can make ice with one of these. Once again, it's probably better to just look it up. Ice. Let's see. Yep. So it's waterlog it over blue ice, and it will make ice for you. Okay. Are any of these other ones on there? No. No, so we're going to have to make our ice all the way up to blue ice another way, but we can definitely make ice with it. So I will look for some other recipes. Anything else I add as Xycraft extractor to set up, I will share with you guys. But let's go ahead now and grab out this moss, and we'll see if we can get the saplings we need for free. If not, we will make a market and buy them from the trader guy. So here are our diamond meshes. Let's go to town. All right, we got our mineral saplings that we need for our advanced squeezer, our mechanical squeezer. And we also got all except for one archwood log or sapling type, but we can get one of each, which will give us the one we're missing by just getting some archwood logs of any type. Now, I don't want to risk the saplings falling into the void, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab out a piece of cobble here, compressed. I can uncompress it. And then we are going to grab out a piece or two of dirt. We're going to just take a whole stack with us. So if we were to just get the one cobble we need to fill in our hole we made, probably would have been a smart idea to make this thing like 2 layers deep or something, but that's okay. It's just temporary. Nothing, but remember, nothing is more permanent than temporary wiring that works, you know? So there is that to kind of think about. All right, so if we put our sapling there, and then it looks like we do have it like 2 deep here in the middle for some reason. I'm not sure if I remember why. I probably did something dumb. All right, we're gonna put down that and then fill that back in. We're gonna grow one of these flashing ones because we have more of those than anything else. And then if we were to vein mine it and get the logs, we should get quest credit for, there we go, Ars Nouveau wood logs. Now that we've got that quest credit, we should be able to get the additional sapling we need, But we're going to need to use these saplings to craft something. So what I'm going to do before we use them to craft anything is I'm going to grow one of like each type, chop it down, get a bunch of extra saplings from the logs. All right, we're almost ready to get started with Ars Nouveau, but we need leather. So I want to make a drying basin because we can take the rotten flesh we've gotten from the zombies we've killed and we can turn it into leather. Simple. And then we can make a dry automated one later to dry all sorts of stuff. And we're going to need it for when we get into making our mechanical squeezer anyways, so there's no better time than right now. It's real simple. You just need logs, iron, and some black dye. I do believe we have black dye here in storage. There we go. So now there's a drying basin. All we're going to need to do to get the leather we need for making a book is we just need to take some rotten flesh, put down the drying basin anywhere in the world, right by your bed. You know, who doesn't like the smell of drying rotten flesh next to them? I mean, come on. So romantic. Just breathe it in. And there we go. Leather, just like that. You just right-click the rotten flesh in there, give it a second or two, and we get our leather out. Now, we need some paper. So let's grab out some sugar cane, which we probably ought to get growing soon. We need to get a lot of things, but I think we have botany pots in here, which is going to let us grow so much stuff so simply. It's going to be wonderful. And then here is enough paper for 2 books, and we happen to have enough for 2 books. One of the books I would like to take and just throw it in the furnace because that's going to get us quest completion for cooking for blockheads, which will unlock the quest line that gives us the credit when we make our sink, which we may or may not get to because I am running out of time on today's episode. But now that we've cooked that book, if we come right here and pull that out, ta-da! Quest credit for cooking for blockheads. Gonna get some more freebies. Completing quests in all the mods is always good because you get valuable freebies from quest completions. Some people like that, some people do not. Now, getting started in Ars Nouveau, we just needed to make a book, and that's going to unlock the beginning of the quest line. It's going to give us a tattered tome, which I think we actually already had one. It gave it to us at the beginning, if I remember right. Yeah, see? Already gave us a tattered tome, but now we have 2. And then, in order to make our first spellbook and keep going in Ars Nouveau, which the spellbook isn't necessarily needed, I don't think, for us to proceed through the storage lectern, but it's part of the quest line, and it's always nice to just unlock quests as you go. We're going to need to make an iron sword, an iron shovel, an iron pick, and what else? Yeah, just an iron sword's all we're missing. So if we make one of those, and then we make our novice spellbook, we can use either the book we made or that tattered tome, and since we have 2, let's save our other book for something else that needs a book. So now we've gotten our archwood, we've gotten our spellbook, and on that note, we're going to wrap it up for the day because, you know, recording Wooly got carried away and ended up with like 47 minutes. So there's other things that I've progressed, and that's just going to have to be for Monday's episode. So in Monday's episode, look forward to us getting into the storage lectern and working on getting ourselves much more organized. Thanks so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and we'll see y'all next time.